You're listening to the Geekscape Network.
Time to fire up the VCR. This one's my favorite. That was gold.
Welcome to Analog Jones and the Temple of Film. I'm Steve.
And I'm John.
And we're a VHS podcast that looks at the box art, trailers, and behind the scenes. Hey, John, what's up? Are you ready to watch a one-off movie that was requested from a fan?
Sure thing.
Okay, so this is the email that we received. Hey, Analog Jones, what's up? How are you guys doing? I've listened to you guys for about a year, and I notice every once in a while you say you take requests. Well, my brothers and I and my sister watched a couple movies when we were kids, and we think you might like them. Number one is Batteries Not Included. Okay, all right, that's a possibility. But we skipped over that one because I wanted something that felt a little bit more fall. And the second movie that he brought up was Harry and the Hendersons. Here's what he had to say. Harry and the Hendersons was kind of just a weird movie that everyone forgot about. We enjoyed it quite a bit. It was on TV all the time, and we rented it every once in a while. Never owned it. Don't really know why. Anyway, I remember the animatronics and the suit being one of the best things I've ever watched, even as an adult. Now, I haven't rewatched it in quite a long time, but I'm pretty sure that it still holds up. And it was done by the legendary Rick Baker. All right, yeah. There's some more in there, but, I paraphrased. Thanks for sending that in. You didn't leave a name, which I noticed. So we'll just call you Mystery John. Because I see John, which is funny because we have another John here. I see John in the email. I'm not going to give away the email. But...
Whoa. Yeah. Everybody emails so-and-so.
But thank you for emailing in. And yeah, this is one that I had not watched in a while. But before we talk about it, let's play the trailer.
Eluded hunters, baffled scientists, and remained a mystery. Until the Hendersons bumped into him.
What is it?
It's a major discovery. We have to take it home.
George. It's alive!
My 15th birthday corsage!
Uh-oh.
George, he's coming back!
Stall him!
I can't. How?
Show him the pasta maker!
This is our home. Our stuff.
Oh, sit. Exercise, Irene.
This is it.
The whole world's gonna know.
It ran away.
It means something to me. Can't you see that? He means something to me.
We'll never see him again, will we?
What I'm going to say now might save his life. There has been yet another sighting of the creature that some people are now calling
Harry!
Harry?
Since when does he have a name?
Since right now.
The average American family just got bigger. Harry and the Hendersons.
Did you notice something about that trailer, John?
I did.
What did you notice?
It almost seemed like a horror movie at the beginning.
Yeah, I noticed they didn't want to show him.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of like the whole shark thing with Jaws.
Yeah, definitely. Or E.T.
Oh, yeah, good call.
Yeah, the family finds something and then hides it, and then someone's trying to hunt it down, and they're protecting it. A lot of E.T. vibes in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, weird that, it's from Amblin Entertainment as well.
Yeah.
Strange coincidence.
Geez. I wonder how that happened. That, to me, is kind of odd that, you don't even show it once. Not even in the poster. Because the poster is just, the sad eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And, it says, let me read this to you. It says, according to science, Bigfoot doesn't exist. And then it shows Harry's hand holding the rose. And this is Harry and the Hendersons. When you can't believe your eyes, trust your heart. But it's like a dark poster.
Yeah, it's a very dark poster, but Harry is super bright and colorful. I don't know, they just kind of don't go together. That's kind of a weird vibe.
Yeah, I think they did better with some of the other posters. They're a little bit brighter, but I think most of them came out after people people didn't so much complain. It's just no one knew this was about Bigfoot.
Yeah, you didn't, like in the trailer, you don't see him at all. And I don't know if that, I mean, I'm guessing that was by design. So you kind of give, it gives people like, well, I got to go, see and figure out what that's about. But maybe they didn't want to like scare anybody. Like maybe they wanted you to like go and then, kind of, I guess, like the family, like the Hendersons kind of, be scared and then fall in love with Harry. I guess they wanted the audience to do that.
Yeah, I never got specifics. I heard from the director during the featurette that I found, and it sounded like they just wanted people to be awed by Harry when they first saw him on the screen, which is cool. I think that's a good idea, but if you don't know what you're getting into, and this could be anything,
yeah,
I don't know. It's rough. You got to somehow show everyone that it's about a Bigfoot that comes into a house and then the family falls in love with him.
Right, you couldn't even do like the classic silhouette, of the pose where he's kind of looking over his shoulder type of thing.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they've got a few other posters. The European poster flat out just changed the title to Bigfoot in Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh.
So, yeah, they're like, no, we're not making this mistake. That is why a lot of people said it didn't do well in the United States. So, this came out in the United States on June 5th, 1987, at a budget of $10 million, approximately, from Amblin Entertainment, the main competitor for Disney, I would even say. And, Steven Spielberg's production company, but his name's not on it, which I found interesting, because he put his name on a lot of movies that Amblin did, but just not this one, and I don't know why.
I don't know. People are weird with their, contracts and all that stuff.
Yeah, because I bet if you just put... Steven Spielberg presents Harry and the Hendersons right there, it just does better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people will automatically see it just for his name.
Now, we do play a new game on this. Now, you don't know about this. This is completely new to John. So, So I tell you the budget. I tell you the domestic. What you have to guess is the worldwide box office. But let me give you a few movies that were coming out at the same time.
Okay.
Beverly Hills Cop 2. Exactly. And we had The Untouchables.
Oh.
So 2 heavy hitters.
Yeah.
The budget was $10 million, and the local domestic box office was 14.3. Can you give me the worldwide box office?
It is 50 million worldwide.
Oh, that's correct. Did you just look that up? You didn't even guess?
No, it was on my screen the whole time. I had it.
Bitch.
I had it on the Wikipedia just in background, and he said that, and I was like, that's literally like staring me right in the face.
Yeah, it definitely made its money back after marketing and everything and going worldwide. Yeah. Now, I don't know how much of a budget, it really depends on how much they spent, but this kicked ass on syndication and home video.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
Usually we like to ask what's your history on this. John, did you ever see this movie before this?
I had never seen it all the way through. It was always on TV, and I saw snippets, and it was always a thing where like, oh, I really liked it, but you couldn't like stream it and just look it up and stream it like you can these days. And so it never crossed my mind, or I would be the only one wanting to watch it when we'd all, go and rent a movie or something like that. So I, until recently, never saw it all the way through in one go. So a lot of it was new. So it was kind of fun because of that. But then a lot of it was, a little nostalgia and stuff. So
yeah, I definitely remember this on TV. I'm not going to say that this was one of our favorites. It wasn't, because we never owned it, and I don't believe we ever rented it. But it was one of those movies that if it came on, we would enjoy watching it.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely really cool to see Harry, and back then, really didn't appreciate how legendary the work was on the animatronics and, the actor in the suit and everything like that. It's just like awesome what the puppeteers pulled off on this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and rewatching it as an adult is like, wow.
Yeah, that's still pretty good.
How the hell did you do that? And I even found a featurette on YouTube that just shows Rick Baker messing around with the face that I sent you, and that's wizardry right there.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was all on one, but he said they had like 3 operating it on the set, but in that shot there, it was all on one thing. Yeah, it was pretty cool, and just how, and it wasn't like crazy loud and like really, it was like just moved really smoothly and everything. It was just very impressive. Like it looked like that easily could have been made today.
Yeah, it looks like all the crazy animatronics and puppeteering that they did on Jurassic Park with like the T-Rex, where you just look at it and you're like, how the hell did you do that?
Yeah.
Like, you showed me the mask. You showed me all the, little parts and components behind the mask. You showed me, you playing with the remote, but when they zoom in on the face, I'm like, I still don't get it. How the fuck did you do that?
Yeah, that's out of my pay grade. Yeah.
It's above my head, son.
Uh-huh. The guy, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but the guy is, he's the guy who played Predator, too. So,
I
thought that was kind of cool.
Kevin Peter Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he played the Jungle Predator, the Jungle Hunter in Predator, and the Urban Hunter in Predator 2. He played Harry here, and he also played Harry in the suit for the first season.
Oh, okay. I wondered that.
Which we'll get into later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly, he died from AIDS-related pneumonia on April 10th, 1991, 1 month short of his 36th birthday. So that's the sad part of the show. But his characters will live on forever. He had a unique style. He really knew how to move in his suits.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, from the Predator to this, there's so many just movements of the Predator and Harry that they don't even need to talk. I just can see them.
Yeah.
Like, I know their character just from his movements.
Mm-hmm.
Which is incredible. I mean, that's like the greatest thing that a suit actor can do.
Yeah, it's like he was really good at pantomime, and yeah, you didn't have to. He says one word in the whole movie, but you get exactly how he's feeling and what's going on without a single word. Well done, sir.
Damn right. Let's move on to this VHS cover right here. We've got a couple quotes from the same person at the top of it, which I found really interesting. A funny, touching, classy piece of entertainment, a delightful romp, a hit the size of Bigfoot, from Michael Medved, sneak previews, PBS TV. He was actually a decent-sized reviewer in the 80s, 90s. He might still be going, I don't really know. I've seen him in other family entertainment. He seems to, I guess since he was part of PBS TV, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, just something to put at the top. And then we have Harry in like rainbow colors, and the Hendersons all in red, a William Deere film. It shows Harry with the family and his classic smashing of his head through the top. I got the dog in there and everything. So the VHS cover is much better than the original poster.
Yeah, absolutely. That gives you an idea of what you're going in for movie-wise.
Yeah, I look at that and I'm like, oh, okay. There's a giant monster there with the family in there, but he seems to be nice. There's a dog. Okay, I'm down.
Yeah. The other one, it's just like it could be like, is he like it looks almost noir. So it's like, is he a murderer? And does he leave a rose at the scene of the crime? Like, what's going on here? Is it a monster? All I see are eyes and then like a Chewbacca hand holding a rose. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they were going way too clever with that original poster. I don't know if it was supposed to be, like a teaser poster, but for whatever it is, yeah, I mean, I didn't look at the poster and think it was a horror movie, but I get your point.
Mm-hmm.
You've got everything. Everything is a mystery.
Yeah.
Which sometimes works really good with teasers. I don't know, it just wasn't working in that one.
I was just going through here and looking at all the other covers. Like there's one where it's just a brick like house, and then you see Harry peeking through the blinds, and a dog's like jumping up on the windowsill. Oh, that one must be the European one because that says Bigfoot and the Hendersons. Oh yeah, okay, so that's the European one. So a different take.
There's another pretty cool painted one where it's Harry smashing through the door. Well, it's like his outline of the door, and then it shows the family on the other side, and it says Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah.
It says a new motion picture comedy adventure. Like, just okay, it's a family comedy. Everyone, it's adventures. Everyone, that one's a little bit better. Even then, I'm like, what? It could be a giant.
Oh, yeah, it looks like a Drew Struzan classic movie poster.
Yeah, but again, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. There's also the other one looking at this one. I can't tell. This must be the movie theater poster, but it's the same thing except it looks like the door's busted through and his paws are on the other side. But you see you see the city of Seattle and you see Mount Rainier in the background and stuff like that through the door, and then you see his paws kind of going through. And then you've got the one where I think that's DVD, where it's Harry holding up a family photo of them in there. Oh, wait, no, that's the TV show one.
Yeah, I'm looking at the same Google search that you did. I know, like, it's pretty funny. I can see you going through them.
Yeah. And it's the mom from, when it first started playing, I was like, why does she seem so familiar? And it's the mom from Christmas Story.
Yep, Christmas Story. And I think she was also the mom in Third Encounters.
I don't think I saw that one.
Oh, you haven't seen that?
Third Encounter? Like Close Encounters?
Close Encounters of, or Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't seen that movie in so long. Yeah, Close Encounters.
Yeah, it's like the mashed potato scene. All that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's the mom in that, so we don't need to look it up. Okay, let's flip it over to the back here. Short description. It says Harry and the Hendersons with the nice colorful logo and everything. We've got color, 1 hour, 51 minutes. And then here's the really short description, and I love these so much. When an average American family meets a legendary creature, the fur is sure to fly. After John Lithgow's car accidentally hits Harry, his life is turned upside down when he makes friends with the real-life Bigfoot. It's a race against time to get Harry back to his natural environment in this hilarious comedy for the entire family. And then it shows a picture below of Harry with the entire family. It's a nice production still.
Yeah, it's like, it looks kind of like the one that they, spoiler alert, take at the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like, yeah, we're out in the woods. And they stick that in the back so people can be like, oh, okay, they are friends.
They go camping together.
All right, let's pop this tape in. No previews, no trailers, no nothing. Wah, wah.
Wop, wop, wah.
All right, straight on to the feature presentation.
And now, our feature presentation.
This movie's pretty damn basic, and it's very much like E.T. The family from Seattle goes on vacation, a camping vacation. When they're coming back, they hit something. It's gigantic. They put it on top of their car. They bring it home. It gets loose. It destroys the house. They fall in love with it. It runs away. They try to find it and stop the hunters from getting it. Then they save Harry and they put him out in the woods. I mean, I'm just racing through this because that's it.
Yeah, it's very much like E.T.
Simple plot, simple story. It's the interaction, and the star of this is just everything they did with Harry.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to start off with, your director's Canadian, which I love. And he got involved with Steven Spielberg through Amazing Stories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know the story of how everything started, but I could see that being like, hey, you did a pretty good job. You got anything you're thinking of? And I think he worked with the writer to get this script going. They worked on it a little bit. They presented it to Amblin, and Amblin's like, yeah, we like this. We think this will go perfect in our family entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how John Lithgow and everyone got involved with this. The only one I know how he got involved was Kevin Peter Hall, and I'll speak to that when we get to him. But John Lithgow, I think, is one of the best actors to never win an Oscar.
Yeah.
His range is insane.
Yeah. It's funny to see him in this and then think he plays, what's I can't think of it's not the Prime Minister he plays one of the guys.
Oh, he's Winston Churchill.
Yeah, Winston Churchill. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, I think
that's the same guy.
I mean, people or kids from the 80s are going to remember him in the Twilight Zone movie where he played, the guy freaked out from the gremlin in Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. I think 90s kids would probably remember him from Third Rock from the Sun.
Mm-hmm.
And then, someone later on, probably 2000s Dexter. He was in a season of that. Or maybe 2 seasons, I can't really remember. And then, right now, Winston Churchill in The Crown. But, I mean, his range is insane. And he's also prolific on the stage. He's won Tony Awards. I mean, the guy can do literally anything.
I didn't know that about the Tony Awards, but
Yeah, I think he's got 3 or 4 Tony Awards. He's insane. He's just a chameleon. Whatever you want him to do, he can do it, and he gives 100% every time.
he's just not typecast or anything. He can, he'll blend in with whatever he is.
And then we already talked about the mom, Nancy Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
She's from The Christmas Story. Everyone knows that. The kids, I've never seen them in anything else.
No.
Sarah Henderson, I know she's currently the CEO and publisher of Lifetree Media, which sounds like a Christian media company. It does, right? Lifetree? Like they're just like...
Lifetree? Yeah. I mean, yeah. If not, it's definitely like spiritual.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of these Christians they like to hide it just a little bit. You need to be watching the movie or show a couple minutes in. You're like, wait a minute. This is a lot of Jesus-y stuff.
Jesus-y stuff. This is a little Jesus-esque.
Now the kid, Ernie Henderson, Joshua Rudoy, there's nothing on him.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, there's no link. There's no link to him.
Yeah, even Wikipedia is like, no.
We got nothing.
We will go into Kevin Peter Hall, which we already talked about. He got involved with this through Stan Winston, who was working with him in Predator. He heard that Amblin was going to do this in Rick Baker, and he called Rick Baker and he goes, "Hey, I got a guy. He's 7'2". He's an amazing performer. I think you should look at him for your new movie." And they brought in a couple other people that were pretty good. They said he walked in, put on the suit, and it was just like, "Okay, you're Harry. Done. Everyone else can go home." I think with the suit on and his stilts that were with the shoes, with the giant feet that they had, he stood over 8 foot tall.
Oh, yeah.
Because he made John Lithgow, who's 6'4", look small.
Yeah, that's right. Because, I forgot that he was that tall, too. So, yeah, absolutely right.
The Nosy Neighbor. What'd you think about The Nosy Neighbor?
Oh, so annoying. But kind of classic of just that time. Like, there was always that character in movies at that time, I feel.
Yeah, she became really big after My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Ah, that's why she looked familiar.
Lainey Kazan.
Okay.
I guess this is just a trope of the 80s suburbs. Like, there's always the, stay-home mom, nosy neighbor that, always has to be involved in the story. Like, she might mean well, but she's annoying as shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
They should really appreciate her, though, because they save some money having her babysit the dog. I can tell you that much. Having 2 dogs myself, getting them babysit's tough.
Yeah, I mean, and they're still not pulling their weight.
No.
Still owe you back
won't
rent.
get a job.
Yeah. I also feel like those characters back then have molded and become like what is now the current day, like Karens. And the classic, like, I want to talk to your manager. Like, I feel like that was the nosy neighbor at that time. What they are nowadays is the Karen type of person.
Oh, how they morphed into something terrible. One of the funny things in this is Emmett Walsh is playing John Lithgow's dad. I found it hilarious that he's only 10 years older than John Lithgow.
Every time I saw him, I just couldn't think of him except from like Trading Places.
Oh no, you're thinking of, was he in Trading Places too? Because the doctor was in Trading Places.
The one with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, right? Yeah.
Dr. Wallace Wrightwood, which is Don Amici.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he played Mortimer Duke.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You were talking about the other guy.
Emmett Walsh. He was the owner of the gun store.
Yeah.
I always remember him briefly from Blade Runner, but honestly, this is how warped my mind is. I remember him the most in Wild Wild West. 1999's Wild Wild West.
I can't even remember him in that movie.
I just love his voice. He's always like, grumbly voice.
Yeah, every time.
He never trusts anyone. He's always, he's always a shop owner or something. He's just like, I don't know.
The jerk. He was the one that was shooting him. He hates these cans, and he was just getting him to try to sign the paper, and he's like, and I also just quit smoking. That's why he was that way. That's what I was trying to remember him from. The jerk. He was the mad guy shooting him like with the rifle. He just looked his name up in the phone book, and then just Nathan R. Jessup, and then just starts tracking him down to shoot him.
Man, that's a movie I've not seen in a long time. The Jerk. I wonder if that holds up.
Yeah, I think so. I can safely say I've watched it within the last like 5 years.
I might have to go back and watch that. It's been a long time. A long, long time. Just like this movie. It's been a long time.
Yes.
And then, talking about the doctor, Dr. Wallace Wright-Wood. Not much on him. He just seems like this character who comes out, like, doesn't believe you at first, and then eventually believes George. He's like, I'm coming there to help you. And even when he gets there, what I love about him is when he gets to the house, he's still skeptical. Like, okay, well, I'm here. I don't see anything. And then he turns around and sees Harry, and he's like, whoa, oh my God.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. And then that's funny because then like his character just does this flip where he's like a kid again, that type of thing.
Yeah. Like he wouldn't even let Harry sleep by himself. He went and got a sleeping bag, came back in there and fell asleep to Harry, who was sleeping on pine needles, which I have no idea where he got those. They just showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah. He just is going through carrying them. Yeah.
Now the Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
We reviewed this guy in Iron Eagle.
Okay.
In his early career, he was always playing... He's an English actor, but he's always playing someone else in his early career. In this one, they decided to make him French.
Yeah, it's funny. He's... When he had this mustache, I didn't recognize him, but... I'm sorry, when he had his beard, I didn't recognize him. But yeah, he plays Poirot, the guy who's kind of like Sherlock Holmes with the crazy mustache.
Yeah.
Never would have noticed that until after I looked him up.
He changes his appearance in a lot of his shows. He's a good actor. He's a really good actor. In this one, he's playing Jacques Lafleur, one of the experts on hunting the Bigfoot. Jesus, this guy is just like an extreme hunter. But what's funny is George's house, when we find out that Harry is a vegetarian, is loaded with dead heads.
Yes.
I mean,
they're like coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah, he stuff them all into the closet, just like because Harry wants to bury them all. There are some fun things in this movie, especially. They must have had a blast destroying furniture.
And like having the sets, where like the ground or the tile in the kitchen is just rising and falling and back in place with him just either sticking his head in the ceiling or something. Tons of stuff like that.
Yeah, and then smashing all that furniture when he tells him to sit.
Yeah.
I taught him to sit. Look, honey. Smash.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and they do that back with Dr. Wallace again when he goes, you taught him to sit, and he goes through and lands on the pool table.
That's a lot of money. That house is destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, it's in Seattle, so it's already probably a little more pricey. It's funny, like, watching that was a little, like, hilarious. Watching that now, I'm like, oh my God, that's expensive. It's like a different perspective.
That's exactly
I hope
what
they
I
have
thought.
insurance.
I was like, how are you going to afford all this? It's destroyed your house.
I hope that wasn't load bearing.
Yeah. The thing that made me chuckle the most is when they're like, oh God, Harry, you stink. And then they just cut to the next morning showing the neighbor's pool that's all disgusting, like brown.
Yes.
And then the guy pulls out a giant thing of hair and he goes, you got any pets?
Yeah, you got a cat? Must be a hairball.
The fuck kind of cat are you? What are you talking about?
That is like the size of a full cat.
What are you talking about? Like an entire like African lion? What the fuck?
Right, yeah. A couple Maine Coons.
Oh, yeah. Look those pictures up. Those are giant cats. Yeah, I mean, you got anything else you want to pull from this movie that you remember that's pretty memorable?
I did think like it even kind of the like going back to like kind of the style, it was really dark and shot kind of like E.T. was. Like it was very kind of, not, I wouldn't say noir, but everything kind of looked like it was nighttime almost. Lots of like kind of silhouetting and stuff. But then it kind of does get brighter once, they realize that, he's more of like a soft, cuddly teddy bear vegetarian instead of a scary Bigfoot guy. And so that was kind of interesting, especially with it, being so close to ET as well. Other than that, the part I'd never saw that I watched this time was when he was lost in the city and they were driving when he was in the trash can and the trash compactor, that type of thing. I had never saw that part of the movie, so that was all brand new.
Yeah, I admit when I was watching that, I was like, I don't remember this. Where they're like, the hunter's trying to get him. He jumps into the garbage truck. George grabs him. He's driving them both, and yeah, fighting with the hunter, throwing his gun. Yeah, I don't remember that. And another thing I don't remember is at the end, the hunter kind of becomes, he's just like, okay, I'm cool with Harry, and then we just see a bunch of other Bigfoots.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I never knew that either. I never saw that part either.
How crazy is it that they just dropped him off in the right spot? Or was he running towards him? I don't really remember.
Well, they were, they were one of those shots where they were kind of standing there the whole time and you didn't notice, and they just kind of suddenly move and you realize, oh, they were standing there that whole time.
Yeah, I kind of wish I would have rewound and see if that was some trickery there, because yeah, they just came out of nowhere and I was like, oh, there's one. What the fuck? There's another. There's another. There's like a kid one.
Yeah.
I wish I would have. I don't know why. I have like all I have to do is press stop, rewind, and I still didn't.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, they could trick me. Bye.
I did love the like aha music video style like credits thing at the end, with scenes from there. It was weird because at first, it's footage for those of you who've not seen. It's footage, and then it kind of starts to flicker. And I was thinking that it was strange that out of everything on screen, that was the only thing like starting to go bad. And then I realized, oh, it's all like rotoscope animated and stuff. And I didn't kind of get the idea of like, it didn't make sense to me why that was there. But I guess they were just a fan of that music video. Maybe that was kind of popular then. I don't remember.
I do wonder like if they like sent it to a production company that just handles credits and doing all that. And if they like specialize in that, because I thought that was weird too. It's really cool, but man, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and especially a lot of work, and then they only have it kind of off to the side in the corner. They don't even, take advantage of, showing that in even, on a larger scale or something like that. It's this tiny little afterthought. And then the background is funny. It's this like red like cloth texture, and it kind of reminds me of like the old Disney cartoons where they would have the intro and it would always have like the main character of the cartoon you're watching and have their head, in the circle, and it would be kind of this red cloth background. It was a very similar vibe to that, which I thought was weird. But maybe that was a whole animation thing, but it had nothing to do with the rest of the movie. That was what was weird to me.
Yeah, I just thought it was strange how because at first I thought it was going to be just bloopers, and so it was kind of cool, but yeah, I don't know. I think we could have done a little bit more with it, but it as it stands, I liked it. It made the credits interesting, and I watched them. So I guess victory there. Going it more into Rick Baker before we head off to behind the scenes and I guess this is part of behind the scenes. Looking at Rick Baker's career, with American Werewolf in London, where he made his huge debut, from Gremlins 2 to Harry and the Hendersons to the, Men in Black aliens, everything. What I found interesting was this is his favorite suit, puppet, animatronics he's ever done. This is his favorite.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
I
funny.
thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. I was just looking at his filmography right now. Like, he was in Batman Forever, Ed Wood. He did Star Wars. Wow.
Yeah, this was the one. This is the one he said stood out because he just thought Harry was the most human out of everything he's ever done.
Wow.
And part of me immediately was just like, well, duh, he's a Bigfoot, which is kind of like related to humans, but I know what he means. It's like he felt like he got the most out of this, become most human-like. And there's always going to be a part of me that's going to love Gremlins 2 more. Because just that movie is ridiculous, and he made like almost every Gremlin a character on its own. Unlike the first one, which most of them were made from the same mold. Rick Baker's just like, I'm going to make all of them different, which is insane. You got to have a lot of money to do that.
Yeah.
But he did it, and I'm always going to love that the most. But I get this one. I think this has some of the greatest facial features I've ever seen in a human-like animatronic puppet. They
were just so smooth. It wasn't like kind of jittery. Like sometimes you could tell like it's almost like they have only like maybe eyebrows, for example, only have like 2 spots. They have up or down, and that's it. And they would they'd curl like it was like he was angry, and then it would be sad, and then kind of like curious, and it was just a really broad range of facial features that it could make. It was I kind of forgot it and then realized, wow, this is great, especially for the time it came out. It as if they made that suit nowadays.
Yeah, I do wonder how they would handle this nowadays. A CG character. I wonder if they would add any sort of like when he's stomping around or his hands are coming, if they would replace it with any suit work.
Or do a combo where it was like someone in a suit but an animated face, maybe.
Yeah, I just don't think. I think this is perfect the way they did it. I don't think a CG character could pull off the same, because the actors. The problem with a lot of CG is like you have Gollum and stuff like that. That's incredible what they did. But that is an actor interacting with the actors around them. That's why Gollum is so great, and a couple other ones like Bigfoot, and King Kong, not Bigfoot. Don't get that confused. But there's a few of them like that, and Marvel sometimes does that really well too. I think they do it really well a lot because they spend $1 billion. But most can't pull this off.
Right.
And because it's so expensive, it's so time consuming. But what they did with such little money here is kind of just why I think suit and puppetry needs to make a comeback on smaller films. Not larger films. Larger films can do whatever they want and they can pull it off. Okay? Thanos.
Yeah, they got it.
Thanos interacts with all them. Fantastic. Gollum in the Lord of the Rings. Fantastic. But we could look at a lot of $10, $20 million budget films, and their CG does not interact well with the character because they just don't have the budget.
Yeah. Why? Yeah. Like Mortal Kombat, just the... Ugh.
Oh, the new one?
No. The one that came out back then, like when...
Yeah.
What's his face turns into a lizard and like... just a weird face morph and... Yeah, just like, ugh, it just...
Yeah, I get it. It's like, it's hard. It's really well, the 90s, like, okay, we'll excuse most of them in the early 2000s because they just didn't understand what they were doing. I think Gollum actually changed everything. Jar Jar Binks a little bit, but mostly Gollum.
Yeah.
As much as Jar Jar Binks gets shit on, he was still actually in the screen. That's why people interacted with him so well. I mean, and that's coming from a movie, especially the Phantom Menace, where hardly anyone acted well.
Yeah. The only thing making it believe that he was actually there was like the best acting in the whole movie.
Which is insane because no one likes Jar Jar, but I'm like actually giving Phantom Menace a compliment. Like, the interaction with Jar Jar is actually pretty good. I can hear the crowd go,
yeah. Ooh. I was about to say, check your temperature.
I'm not sick.
Feeling all right?
I am drinking scotch, but I'm not sick. I've barely had any scotch, so okay. All right, calm down, folks. Jar Jar's not good. He's great. That's what I'm saying. Throwing it
Sticking
down.
to it. I bet my reputation on it.
I never had a reputation, so I'm safe. House money. No, I mean, the movie sucks. Phantom Menace, 90% sucks, but Jar Jar Binks' character, he sucks. Jar Jar Binks' interaction, good.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we've settled that, Hit the gauntlet.
The age-old debate. Yeah. We've put it to rest for the masses.
Let's move on to a little of the behind the scenes here. Did you ever watch the TV series?
I had no idea the TV series existed until you sent me the trailer for it.
That's right, the intro, not the trailer. I know what you mean.
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah, the intro.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it. I was so young. I mean, it did pretty good. It lasted from 91 to 93. It's 3 seasons. I know they wanted a sequel. And they were afraid that after the the sequel was coming together during the writer's strike, which is, that's not good. We talk about the writer's strike quite a bit in RoboCop 2's review, so you can go back and listen to that. But, the writer's strike wrecked a lot of things. But luckily, since they weren't going to do a sequel, they didn't think they'd get some of the actors back. They're like, NBC came sniffing. They're like, we are really interested. We heard you had a sequel. Could we turn this into a TV series and just use the suit? And Amblin's like, sure, we'll sell you the suit. We'll sell you the rights to the TV syndication. Go at it. And that's how it happened. It's just like, boom, all the actors were recast. Now, what I did notice, though, was that Kevin Peter Hall returned as Harry for 1 season before he passed so young. So he got more work. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
I never really saw it. I don't really remember it, but I watched about 5 minutes of some random episode in the first season. I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah. Is it kind of like Ferris Bueller, like TV series spinoff bad?
No, better than that. But it's definitely got the cheesy Alf jokes, which is clearly based off Alf from 87 to 90, whatever that was. Where the joke, I only watched 5 minutes, and 2 of the jokes were so obvious that one of them, he sat down. He's like, "Well, I'm gonna watch some TV after work," and the dad it's the dad from X-Men, by the way, who was like the mayor or something that turned into like this weird jellyfish.
Oh yeah. Turned into water.
Yeah, what? I don't know that guy's name. Do we really need to stop
and look him up?
Is it that big a deal? He's got white hair. He's old. I don't care. Whatever. You can look him up.
Yeah.
I'll look up the TV series because I think it's just interesting, like the intro. He put his feet up onto the table. He's like, it's been a hard day of work and I'm going to watch some TV. And then Harry put his feet up and smashed through the table. And I'm like, well, that's okay. And then the daughter came by and made well, I've got to go to school tomorrow and blah, blah, blah. And then they made this school joke where Harry turns over and smiles. And I can't remember the joke. I just remember rolling my eyes and going, okay, I'm done. I got it.
Is it like he's looking at the camera and smiling at the camera type of thing?
No, he's looking at the daughter and smiling, but it was just like, I need a science fair project. And he's like, well, we've got one right here in the living room. And Harry turns and goes, and smiles. And I'm like, I can't do this. Nope.
Not now. Not ever.
I can barely do network shows now.
Ugh.
30 years in the future. Then, oh my God, because it reminds me of just how bad the jokes in Full House and stuff were. And you know what? If you're triggered after I'm saying Full House is not good, fuck it. I don't care. Full House is not funny.
People are going to tell you to cut it out, Steve.
Cut it out.
Cut it out, or they're going to be like, how rude.
I loved it as a kid, but rewatching it as an adult, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. I've seen things like that. When I go back, I just feel bad. I'm like, I drug my parents to go see this, and they had to sit through that. Those poor souls.
Well, that's why they took us to big budget movies like Batman, because they're like, well, I can take this.
Until it was like Batman Forever. Or no, Batman and Robin.
No, Batman and Robin. Batman and Forever was you could sit through. Batman and Robin.
Yeah,
holy
Batman and Robin.
Shit.
Good.
We're gonna,
Ninja Turtles 3.
For our future episodes, I will reveal that we're going to do some more Batman animations because we got emails for it. Our downloads were huge. People like the Batman animations, and John's going to be invited back. But John's also going to be invited back when we do the Batman movie franchise, and he's going to pay for it.
Yeah, I'll make sure I pack my bat nipples for the episode.
Well, I'll pack my bat credit cards so I can buy us a trip to Hawaii after that fucking shit. We need a vacation.
I forgot about the bat card.
Let's move on to the museum.
This is the second time I've had to reclaim my property from you.
That belongs in a museum.
So do you.
This is the part of the show where John and I go out into the film jungle and bring something back like Indy. This is our, it's like a one-off. We'll call it the Rick Baker wing of the museum. So you cannot put Harry from Harry and the Hendersons in this. He's already in there. He's got everything. He's got an entire wall. So we've got to challenge our brains. What are we putting in the museum from Harry and the Hendersons other than Harry?
That's kind of hard. Because, that's kind of I was telling myself I'm going to have to come up with a second one because, that's a given. And Steve will probably do that one if I don't do that one.
Do you want me to go to help you out?
Go to help me out?
Yeah, I'll put mine in. Help you out.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to put in the drawing of Harry that John Lithgow did, which is actually Rick Baker's first drawing that he showed the director of what he thinks Harry should look like. He based it off an orangutan.
Really? Yeah, I can see that.
And Rick Baker did the other drawings that were put up in the gun shop, where his dad's like, I freaking hate you. I told you to make Harry and the Bigfoot scary. I should have hired a real artist. I looked at those and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, old man?
Yeah.
He's a good artist.
Yeah. What an asshole. Like, I took that personally. Like, from
I know. So
from us who, like, we can both draw. Like, I was like, yeah, I've been through that. I know what that feels like.
Yeah, you got to get thick skin as an artist because someone will just lay into something. The best part is when they don't know it's yours and they lay into it and you're like, okay, I'll do better next time, or I'll change this. And they're like, oh, it's yours?
Oh, no, it's fine.
No. The no.
It turned into a rap, a little song.
Karens, on the other hand, they're like, well, do better. Exactly.
Do better. They've got a 4-foot cigarette burn that has to be like tapped.
All the ash, it never burns off.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Or it never falls. It burns, but it never falls.
It's you're not listening to what they're saying because you're trying to figure out how that hasn't fallen yet, and you're just staring at it the whole time.
That's true. Okay, well, let me give you 2 minutes. I'm going to talk about the trading cards.
Oh, okay.
You remember when Dick Tracy or Batman did the trading cards?
Yes.
Well, Harry and the Hendersons did trading cards, and I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, I because I feel like I had a couple from other movies as well. I don't know how I didn't come across them.
I had never seen them. I looked up all of them. I saw someone selling the entire set. I forgot how much the price is, but I'm going to let you all know. eBay. Harry and the Hendersons. Complete card set. Ooh, not selling for much. $10. $9.50. Not even $10. $9.50.
For one card or for like a set?
No, the whole set.
It's a very niche fan club of people getting Harry and the Henderson trading cards.
77 cards from Topps 1997. Harry, like, part of me, I just want to buy this right now, just so I can show it to Sarah and she can go, oh, come on.
Oh yeah, I guess our son doesn't need to go to college. Yeah, okay.
And then I'll immediately be like, it's $10.
Yeah.
And then I'll say, we have a son?
Yeah, exactly. Please, hey, here you go. Dress your son up as a tiny little Harry and the Hendersons for Halloween. Just get him a tiny little costume.
Oh,
it'll be a play because he's so tiny.
I found one cheaper, $5.99.
Ooh.
John,
you know that there's this like obscure like summit of people who are crazy about this movie, and all four of them meet they probably meet in Washington, and go to the places where they filmed it. And like, if you show up with this and they're like, oh, and they're like looking at, ooh, that's the 88. Oh yeah. When Tops had the rights to it.
Yes. I can tell you that there was a canceled video game that was going to come out on NES and Super Nintendo. It was canceled because another game company, the company who produced a game that all the sprites were going to be replaced for and everything, sold it. And I can't remember the game that was replaced on it. I am sorry. I read it and laughed. It was another, just TV show or whatever, movie. And this was actually supposed to be, all the sprites were supposed to be replaced, but they went with another. And then Amblin said, fuck it. And they canceled it. Because, they canceled the sequel because they're like, well, none of the actors are going to return. So they said, fuck it, sell it to NBC. With this one, they're like, no one's going to buy this. Bye.
Just get rid of it all. Just burn it all.
Burn it. They're like, should we save this for, a museum? They're like, no one's going to fucking review this film and put it in a museum. Burn it.
We've got insurance on it, so we'll actually make money back if we burn it.
Good thinking, PETA. All right, you got anything for the museum? Last chance.
I think I'm going to put the acting in from the just from not just Lithgow but all the others. They are the ensemble cast. I would say I'd put in there.
So you're putting the family in.
So I'll put the family in. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Did you especially like the daughter when she's like, "That was my high school corsage"?
Yeah. That was very much like what the kids were like, those like in the early 90s at a movie. Like, it was little kid like, hey, like little son is nerdy but defensive. The girl is just worried about being popular and always like with a school dance or something like that. Yeah, it's the classic tropes.
Yeah. I like the kid, but that daughter, she kind of annoyed me because it was just so clueless before Clueless. Except Clueless I liked. This one I didn't like so much.
Yeah. You almost, if she wasn't in the movie, it would have not really had any other difference.
Exactly. She doesn't provide anything to the plot. She's just there to make frowny faces.
Yeah. She's there for like a joke or two.
Yep. Just
for a gag, and that's about it.
All right. Well, that'll wrap it up this week. John, thank you for returning to Analog Jones. We always love it when we hear your low tone voice. Let me say that. Low tone voice. I can't. Oh my God. Fuck it. We love your low voice.
My low tone voice.
Toined voice.
My toined voice.
Oh,
you love
so
my
good.
toined voice. Hey, oh. Freundleiven. Lady.
Okay, we should stop the impressions now because we'll go on for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, they would. Absolutely. Can you imagine if we did a
fat
whole...
Harry Henderson fans. I was the first. I was the best one. People came to see me. Potatoes.
That would be like a weird special effects thing if a bunch of like digital characters met up with like prosthetic characters and like had a thing. Like
I could see it right now. I could see it right now.
Yeah. Kind of like there was like a PlayStation commercial where it was like a bunch of popular video game characters all hanging out, kind of like in a bar, and so you have all these like
like
barrage of different characters.
1992 original PlayStation 1 popular characters or whenever that came out versus the characters now, and you'd be like, back in my day,
we only had enough pixels for a whole body. And why, your mustache has more pixels in it now than my whole body.
They say I'm 64, but I feel more like 48.
Well, I was 32-bit. Well, I was originally 16-bit, but they plugged in a 32-bit. Made me twice as much.
That's when my hair's red. Makes no sense. Anyway, that'll end it this week, so remember to be kind.
Rewind.